Hello, I'm Kurt Rogers, President of Affordable Interest Mortgage, and today I want to talk to you about the Asset Manager All-in-One. This is a revolutionary loan that teaches people how to pay less interest and own their home faster. Many people don't think that that can be, that you have to change your habits and all that. You really don't, so I'm going to show you how it works. The first thing I want to talk to you about, though, is the history of the loan. The loan was created in 1965 in Australia by a bank called Macquarie. If you go back to 1965, when they were getting a lot of people moving into the country, they wanted to do mortgages for them. But because the people were new, they didn't really have anything to build on. But the bank saw this opportunity, so they said, okay, we will loan you 80% of the value of the house. You put 20% down, but you have to do the loan with us, and you have to open up a checking account. So they attached the checking account to the mortgage. Well, what they learned on that after about 2 years of looking at it is they realized that they had no late payments. Because the checking account was attached, the payments were automatically made. So the payments were gone. The second thing was they were learning that the people were paying their home off much faster, which is a big risk to the bank. And I'm going to explain that later. So all of a sudden they realized the power of this loan and the fact that there was no cost to it, so they decided to offer it to everybody. Since 1965, 35% of all mortgages in Australia is this loan. 25% of this product is loans in Europe. We are the only country in the world that does 30-year fixed mortgages, compound interest, the way we do them. So the rest of the world looks at it totally different. So what I want to show you now is kind of a comparison between a normal conventional loan and the Asset Manager All-in-One. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to take an average loan of $350,000. On this, if I figure 4%, that's a payment of $1,670. That's principal and interest. There's a few pennies to that, but that's principal and interest. Now, most of us that have a mortgage have a checking account. The advantage of a checking account is we will deposit our $5,000 into this account. Then we'll make a car payment, we'll make a credit card payment, we'll pay for food, we'll pay for school, we'll pay for our fun. And then one payment will come over here and pay our mortgage. That's how it's done. While this is going on, this is the interest on a 30-year fixed. At the beginning, we all know that compound interest. What compound interest means is that they take this balance after you've made your payment, subtract the principal from it, and they re-amortize that loan for 29 years, 11 months. Then the next month, they do it for 29 years and 10 months. So what happens on this loan at this interest rate, you're going to pay back $251,452 in interest on a $350,000 loan. Now, to me, that doesn't sound like 4%. It sounds like a whole lot more. So when you add these two together, you've got a balance of $601,452 is what you paid to own that home. They're going to tell you it's 4%, but that's how compound interest works. What the asset manager does that's different is, like I said, they attach the checking account to the mortgage. So what that means is now, when you deposit the $5,000, it goes right to here, and then immediately it comes over here. And here's where the power of the loan comes. It starts teaching you how to pay principal first, interest last. So the way this one loans, if you put in $4,000, your payoff's going to go to $345. Now, you still have to pay your bills, so you write them out of your checking account the same normal way. You just send the money out, and at the end of the month, you might owe $349,000. Because this loan is simple interest and not compound interest, the payment is on the average daily balance. So your average daily balance might be $347,000. Well, that means that payment's going to be considerably less. So because of that, your payoff goes down. When you make your payments, it'll kind of go back up like this, come to that $349, then the next month it does it and goes down again. And every month that you do this, it goes like this. Because of this, your payment goes down. And as your payment goes down, that means more of the money you're putting in the account applies more to principal. Another way to look at it is, basically it's taking this $5,000, paying you the same rate as the mortgage, and applying it to principal, which lowers your payoff, which lowers your payment, which lowers the amount of interest you pay. On this loan, using the same money, we're not changing our spending habits a penny. Using the same money, your profit on this loan is $137,000 versus $251,000. Just like I said, it's saving you a lot just on the interest on the loan. You own your home faster. So because of this benefit to it, it helps you keep going down like this each time. And all of a sudden, in let's say 5 years, you might only owe $180,000 in the house versus what you would owe in this house because you're not paying all the interest. Here becomes one of the other benefits to this loan. If you owe $180,000, you have a line of credit that can take you back to this $350,000 for almost a full 30 years. So should you face a speed bump, should you have something that comes up in life that causes you a problem, let's say you have a water heater goes out or that your car breaks, what would you do now if you had to spend $5,000 or $8,000 for a water heater? Put it on a credit card? Take it out of your 401k, which takes from your retirement? In this one here, all you do is pay for it here, write the check. And the only thing that can happen is instead of paying this one off in 13 years and 5 months, because that's how fast you'd own this one, you might now pay it off in 13 years and 7 months. But you haven't affected a credit card, you haven't paid that high interest rate, and you're not taking your money out of your retirement plan. So this allows you the flexibility when life goes on to make that work. I'll give you an example. I have a neighbor of mine. She got this loan back in 2008. The mortgage meltdown happened. She had at that time about $74,000 in equity in what she had earned here. She lost her job. She was unemployed for 18 months. Because of that, and being able to access that equity that she couldn't before because of her 30-year fixed, she was able to make her mortgage payment, her car payment, keep her kid in school, pay all of her bills. Her credit score never went down. They were able to get by. So because of that, 18 months later, she went out and got a job, and she's back into the loan. She's back throwing the money into the loan, getting paid on her money as it goes in, and it's helping her pay off her home still faster than this one. If you remember back in 2008, over 13 million people foreclosed with this type of loan. 13 million. Since 1999 with this loan, they've had one foreclosure because it gives you the flexibility to face speed bumps when they come along. And you don't have to ask anybody. You can be unemployed. You can change jobs. There's a lot of things you can do with this loan. So the power of this loan is not just paying off your home faster, not just saving yourself hundreds of thousands of dollars in interest, but having the flexibility to reach money when you need it or when the economy goes bad. What's the downside? Many people will ask me that question. The downside to this loan is if you have this kind of equity right here, and you decide all of a sudden, well, I'm going to go out and spend $50,000 on a Harley. My first question to you, were you planning on buying a Harley? If you weren't planning on it, then this loan's not for you. It's not to go out and spend the equity you build. The idea to this loan, the purpose of this loan is to not pay all the interest to the bank, own your home faster to have more security. Now, there are opportunities to where you can access that money. I have several clients that have this loan that they'll touch that money for investment purposes. They'll touch that money to go buy investment property and then turn around and take that rental payment that's coming in and apply it to the loan. They're not going to add any term to their loan, but they're increasing their net worth because they have the access to make those decisions without having to requalify. Because once you qualify for it, it's there. So there's a lot of potential. I had one lady that she had so much equity in the home when she got it, she quit her job. She was an LN, went back to college to become a nurse. 2 years later, she went back. She was unemployed 2 years. 2 years later, she went back, went right back into the loan. She's now making more money, doing the job she wanted to do. But she wasn't making enough money and didn't have enough money in reserves to do it before. So the advantage of this loan is numerous as to what you can do. Should you have any questions or would like to talk to one of our specialists, give us a call at 720-895-0500. We'd be more than happy to sit with you and see if this loan can actually work for you. Thank you.